Robert, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right, my man. Got your
How's it?
Cleveland outfit on. What's up? You dropped the Bengals?
No, man. I just this is for it's a flag football game we put together last year for like this Oklahoma super fan who has uh non-curable cancer,
Oh, okay.
and so we were raising money for him. It was kind of cool. It was a team from Texas, some
Yeah,
Texas fans, and then we
yeah.
got some OU fans, and we played the night before the Cotton Bowl,
Okay.
so it was
Sweet.
pretty fun, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you, brother. Well, good, man. I appreciate you having me on tonight. And Jason
Yeah.
Bells gave you glowing remarks. So
Nice, man. He's a really cool dude, man.
he's my big brother, mentor. Look up to him a lot. So
Yeah, he was a hard hitter at OU, man, too, and in the league too, man. He'd just be laying dudes out.
land dude.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'm glad
Uh,
you got a little bit like us.
yeah. So you played like 9 years in the league, didn't you? 9 seasons.
I got 9 years. Yeah, very fortunate as we can. I fooled him for 9 years. So
Right. No, you had some pretty good stats too, man.
yeah,
You had a double digits career interceptions. I know that.
yeah. I was fortunate. I came in the league. I played opposite Darrell Green, so obviously that means I got a lot of balls thrown at me. But
Yeah, right.
you
Yeah,
gotta.
Darrell Green. Did you ever race Darrell Green?
I did, man, and I tell the kids the story at the combines every year when I taught there. I came in from the combines. I had the fast time at the combines. I set this record in the vertical, and Darrell is exactly 12 years older than me. So I came in as
Wow.
a 20-year-old rookie, and I said, "Hey, I'm not gonna let no dude over 30 beat me running."
Yeah, right.
So I walk up to him. I say, "All right, let's say, all right, old man, let's get this over with." And meanwhile, all my teammates are looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna race him." Long story short, we got on the line, and when the coach said go, when I came out my stand, Darrell was 5 yards ahead of me. So that was my indication. All right, world class speed is a little bit different than
Yeah,
football
definitely,
speed.
definitely, man.
Yeah,
So, after your time in the league, there you stayed on with the NFL Players Association. Um,
yeah,
what can you talk about your role there a little bit, like what you did in the association?
yeah. Our primary role is to be a direct liaison between the players and the office. So, it's our job to help negotiate the CBAs, collective bargaining agreements. So we would always gather player consensus, build solidarity around the issues we want, whether that's no pads, you're talking about 16, 17 games, even down to as minute, like how much money I get fined for being overweight.
Wow.
So every detail that is on the field that goes, that people don't see, we negotiate. And so secondarily, my role was to be basically, lack of a better term, a shop steward. So I went into every facility to make sure that the coaches and owners were abiding by all the rules that we had agreed to.
Now, so were you a part of the Players Association? When COVID hit?
Yes, we were. That was a very big time for us. We had just literally like 2 weeks early, we had just signed the CBA deal in 2020.
Hmm.
COVID hits. Now we have to renegotiate basically a whole new deal.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah, so it was literally, tooth and nails, get 2,000 players to agree. That deal was signed. And then when COVID hit, obviously our payroll, all the money shrunk. So the owners came to us and said, "Hey, we got to do something about this." And so, yes, that was a big time for us, back to back deals.
That'd be a tough position to be put into, man.
Yeah, it
Make
was
that
tough.
decision.
Players were not obviously our locker room is no different than our country.
Right.
Split down the middle. What should we do? Should we not? It's too dangerous. And that was during the early stages of COVID, where people who are heavier set and African American descent, they were saying had stronger numbers, so guys were just all over the map about what to do.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah,
So after you left there, you were a special needs educator in a high
yes,
school.
Yeah, that was prior to me joining. So my last game in the NFL was I got hurt the week after 9/11.
Okay,
I started teaching school in '02 at my kids' school,
nice.
and then I went to the high school level and I taught special ed, ED to and LD students for 3 years, teaching
Nice.
geometry and algebra 2. So I loved it. Uh, like most things I do, I want to be passionate about. So I think every job I've had since I left football, I loved and would do it over again.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about football. It like teaches you how to be about passionate something. Whatever you love, you learn
Yeah,
to be passionate about it and want to do it to the fullest. And
absolutely.
it's that's the way to do it. Attack anything in life. It's just you got to give it your all and be passionate about it. My
Yeah,
my father did a great job of instilling that in me.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I really would like to talk about this new company you started, the Carter Alo.
Yes.
Um, Maybe you could. It's like as far as ushering in the new NIL era, pretty much
Mhm.
with the. Maybe you could go into that a little bit and.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have been talking about it at length. Me being a school teacher, I love to give the history of NIL. Um, and so NIL has been around for a long time. It's new to the college space. So, if you go back to the original foundation, it started in 1960. I don't know if you got any golfers that watch the podcast, any old guys, but a guy named Mark McCormick formed this company called IMG. And he started with three guys, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player.
Hmm,
And so those guys, obviously golfing was a niche sport. So they just kind of, marketed those athletes regionally. So that was the first time we started using athletes. Fast forward to football, when its popularity took off in late with the Super Bowl era, a guy named Joe Namath,
mm-hmm.
he was the first athlete to have a national brand commercial.
Wow.
And that was for Hanes. He did a pantyhose commercial.
Ah,
All
nice.
right.
Sounds about right,
That was about right for Joe
huh?
Namath. And so the second athlete to have a national brand, you know, uh, controversial now, but a gentleman by the name O.J. Simpson did a Hertz commercial.
Oh yeah.
For me, that was my first time seeing an athlete on the TV spot. Okay. And then the next year, Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, did the Wheaties.
Hmm.
So that was the formation through TV and the popularity, people trying to use their name, image, and likeness to sell stuff.
Okay. I see.
Now, as we forward to 1984, the Holy Grail hit with a guy by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh yeah.
So he is the definition yesterday, today of what all these kids are trying to do. They're trying to market themselves in this space. So now there's a new medium called the internet,
Yeah,
with Twitter,
for sure.
Instagram. So now when TV drove everything, now this new source of driving stuff is this Twitter, is this internet space.
Mhm.
So once again, these kids are trying to capture their name, i.e. the Michael Jordan name, the image of Michael Jordan, when you see the tongue wagging and the wristband and the knee sleeve,
Yeah.
right? And the likeness, meaning on a video game, or you see the Jordan logo, Jumpman,
Jump man. Yeah.
right? So that's what name, image, and likeness is. But in this new space with social media, pretty much anybody can do that, set their own shop up.
Yeah.
And
I never really looked at it that way. That's a really good way to like take another angle at it.
yeah,
Uh, I've never really looked at it as MJ as like the innovator of it, pretty much.
yeah. He's the innovator. He's what every kid. He's what I want to do, right? He's making more money now from his branding, his image,
Right.
right?
Um, I
So
was
that's
I was reading this stat that you could take every contract in the NBA, total it, and it still wouldn't equal Jordan's salary for a year.
no, they won't.
That blows me away. That's just
Yeah,
insane.
right.
That's a
And
lot of money.
and to circle back to the image part, I said it to another group, and I think we're same age right now. We know the most popular athlete of all time could not get branded because his religious political views, Muhammad Ali.
Mm,
So during those 70s period, so that's why kids I teach kids about the branding. What's your image, right? Who's going to pay you to represent their company?
yeah.
And so that's why most of the kids are trying to build their own following still so they can get companies to come to them. So uh, I know to get to your question about my company. So fast forward to things that I love to do. When I saw these new rules pass, I saw there was a huge void being left to help young men and women out. Because in the pro ranks, what I did, we have agents, we have marketing reps, we got financial advisors, we got planners, this whole ecosystem to help pro athletes out.
Hmm.
Now the colleges have basically told the kids, hey, take care of yourselves. I'll let you handle these season negotiations by yourself while we are going to just take care of our piece, which I didn't think was fair.
Yeah.
And that's how Carter Alo came to be, to where I just thought there are so many kids in need. You know, my son played in the NFL. I raised him up as a baby. Even at 21, 22, you know, he couldn't handle seasoned marketing reps and agents,
It's a lot
right?
of responsibility, bud.
Yeah. So how are you going to ask a 16-year-old kid to do it?
Yeah.
And so I literally just got, before this call happened, I just spoke to a local NIL agent that was reaching out to one of the kids that I helped.
Nice.
And, you know, just talk to that person. It was able to put a wall between the kid and him, because the kids were hearing two different things. The kids were hearing, oh, I'm getting paid, I'm getting paid.
Mm.
But when I talked to the rep, it's like, no, we don't have any money for them. So that's
Yeah.
what's going on right now. And I think that's why universities hopefully will hire people like myself to say, let me protect your kids, because there are a lot of people on the hurt.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, if the NCAA wants to um, take the line out between amateurism and professional, well, they need to have some kind of assistance to take them to that professional level. They might not be professional on the field, but you're expecting them to be professional off the field.
Yeah,
So like, you have to you have to help them somehow. You can't expect them to be successful. Like,
that's it's crazy, isn't it?
that is so insane. Like, and
Yeah,
they were against it for so long. Like,
yeah,
you would figure they would come up with some kind of system.
yeah.
Like, this is gonna, like, they're thinking like this is gonna happen someday. Like, I need
And,
to have some kind of plan in progress.
oh my gracious! And a program like your Oklahoma's program, I know that's the local audience,
Hmm.
is so big. I can't even imagine how many people are trying to get next to just one player to be a part of Oklahoma football, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
so this has opened up that can of worms. Now, if a guy says, "Hey, I got two players and they owe you," so it's just and now these kids can be adversely affected. You don't know what type of strains they're going to have on them through this rep pressures. It's just a whole nother thing that
It's a predatory. Like, they
yeah,
got to be very very careful.
yeah,
And
got to be better. Yeah, so
it
that's
sucks. It sucks that grown people would do that, but it's the way of the world,
the way of
man.
the world, man. It's the way of the world.
It is. um. So excuse me. So did you play ball with Belser, or did you just meet him through the Players Association?
We're the Players Association. We were always contemporaries. Jason came in the league in 1992. I came in 93. So, you know, when we played Indianapolis, you know, I was always seeing him over there. I'm like, all right, you know, who's this, you know, short, thick dude over there knocking people out?
Right. For real.
You know, obviously
Yeah.
Jason being a smaller guy, he always had to prove himself, and, you know, he would just knock people blocks off every week, you know,
Yeah.
for 12, 14 years in the league. So obviously he was a very good player for a long time.
Oh man, I was watching some highlights. I think it was the Chiefs and AFC Championship game, or when he played for the Chiefs, it was against the
Yeah.
Chargers, I think. No, Colts and
Right.
Chargers. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he picked off Stan Humphries, I think it was, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
Stan Humphries.
Well, yeah, Jason, and obviously Jason's different. Jason's one of the first, second generational players to play. I know for African Americans. His dad played for Kansas City Super Bowl,
Oh, yep, he
so he
did. Yep.
came in. You know, so when we guys saw him, we knew that he had the mental. Like, it wasn't big for him because he saw his dad do it, and so now, yes,
Yeah, I noticed that when I was talking to him, man. He's just real cool and like real calm
hmm
and collected, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's just real sure of what he said.
oh
So
yeah, he's been there, done that. He's grew up with his whole life, similar to like my kid. You know, you grow up around it, it's not too big for you.
So if you had so do you think like this is more going towards pay for play, like instead of name, image, and likeness? Because when I think of NIL, I think of Sprite or
Mhm.
like jersey sales. Like, oh, you're actually getting ready to do that. They're
Yeah,
actually getting ready to start jersey sales
well, I
and
saw
get
that. I think that's a
um
big. I think that's. I should commend you for doing that. That's setting the market. That's
yeah.
very commendable. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I see NIL to be.
yeah,
But there are schools with these LLCs, like popping up, and it's just
yeah,
backed by boosters. And I just think a lot of kids are going to get affected down the road.
yeah. Robert, you spot on with that. I think Lane Kiffin said it. If I think I'm not misquoting him, he's like pretty soon it's going to be a salary cap,
Yep.
and that's what's basically from my perspective. I'm seeing these schools raise these funds,
Hmm.
these LLC funds and foundations, and all that fund is going to be is like, well, we got this amount of money to spend for these 25 recruits coming in every year.
Yeah.
And how are we going to divvy that up? So that's the way I see it in layman's terms. Like the schools are obviously going to try to put a lot of smoke screen on it and say it's legit, but that's kind of where we're going right now.
And yeah, like I mean, I know it's just starting out, and like everything, it works itself out.
Mhm.
I just hope it doesn't take forever.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm gonna end right now, and but I
Mhm.
want to end on a little segment called the who, what, and why.
Okay.
So for the who, we're gonna go with who's the toughest cover you ever had in the NFL.
Oh gosh. Okay. It would have to be obviously. I got to give you one answer, right? Randy Moss.
Oh, mm, I bet you
Randy.
that was tough, man.
It was tough. Obviously, for a guy like me, I felt like I was physically able to cover anybody, but Randy, he was 5 inches taller than me and probably a tenth faster than me.
He was
And
super
so
quick, huh?
super quick and to be that long. Great ball, as you know, I'm not saying anything you guys don't know. Hand-eye
Yeah,
coordination, ball skills.
yeah.
So it
That
was,
man, his rookie season,
I know it's
he was
rookie
so
season.
fun to watch, man.
He was an amazing athlete, and you just had to, you know, the guy's a genetic freak.
Yeah, that's how I think of Mike Vick. Uh,
Yeah,
it's a shame that he got done. He didn't, but
yeah, yeah.
he's doing good now. He overcame, and
He overcame. That's life, right?
for sure,
That's what we do.
for sure. So, for a what? So, what is your definition of success?
Uh, my definition of success is, I guess, love. Right?
Okay, okay.
Am I in a place of, especially my wife, and my kids. If everybody's in a place where they are being loved and loved, I think that's my ultimate success. All right, money comes and goes, occupations come and go, but
I
if I,
like that, man.
yeah,
I like that. That's good stuff.
yeah.
So, why we're gonna go with why did you fall in love with the game of football?
Why did I fall in love with it? Love could be a strong word. I was a basketball junkie.
Okay,
I just
I
happened to
love
be a
basketball, man.
I just happened to be a 5'11" center, and that wasn't going to translate well to the next level.
Right.
Uh, so football was something I was gifted at,
Nice. Okay.
right? And so, obviously, I went into that with the attitude, and when I got to college, I saw people were able to monetize on it. So yeah, so I fell in love with the aspect that I can provide a great income for my family.
So it's like more of a way out. I want. I don't. I
Yeah,
mean.
that's fine. Yeah, it was. It was like I got to Notre Dame, and my first year there, a guy named Todd Light.
Yeah.
He went fifth pick in the draft.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa, okay, this can be. I went to college. I went to Notre Dame with the purpose of just graduating and getting a job.
Right.
But then I saw if you put the time in and the effort, you can really have generational wealth and set it up for your family. And
Nice.
so I might be a little different than most guys. And my rookie season in the NFL, a guy said, "You playing football for two reasons: for the love or for the money." He said, I don't care which one, just pick one.
For sure, man.
So yeah, it
For
was more
sure.
than money.
And I like to end on this quote too. To focus on the daily instead of the dream, but
Mm,
let the dream shape what you do daily.
yes.
And that that's life right there, man. Let's just
Yeah.
gotta take it one step at a time, like you said, and
Amen.
just overcome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the old Boomercast podcast, and
All right.
maybe we'll check in with you sometime down the road. And
Yeah. Appreciate it, Robert.
sounds good. Thank you. I gotta always end with a boomer sooner.
Oh, come on, Boomer Sooner. Go Irish.
There we go. We'll go with that.
All right, guys.
All right. You have a good